Thanks for joining me. This is Danny, and welcome back to my RealTech series. Today we're going to be playing with Immersive Petroleum. So Immersive Petroleum is an add-on to the Immersive Engineering mod. In fact, it even adds information to the engineer's manual from Immersive Engineering. So we're going to go in here because it's cold out there. So if we take a look at our engineer's manual, we will see that there is a new section called Oil Processing, and this is added by the Immersive Petroleum mod. If we click on that, it'll tell us everything about this mod. So this mod is all about oil. It allows us to extract oil from the ground. It also allows us to refine that oil and do various things with it, including, do various things with the byproducts, including power the Immersive Engineering generator, or biodiesel generator. It also allows us to, it also has its own gasoline generator that we can power, and it has a motorboat that we'll be playing with later, which is kind of a speedboat that we can use in the water, and it has various add-ons that allow it to do things like cut through ice and turn very quickly, and it's powered by gasoline. To start with this mod, we're going to need the core sample drill. This is from Immersive Engineering. It is what we would use in order to find mineral deposits underground that we would use for the excavator. So I had done that in a previous episode in Season 1 of RealTech. We used the excavator to get a bunch of ores from the ground. But the idea is, if we look in our engineer's manual under our oil processing and look at fluid reservoirs, we will see that while mining near bedrock, you occasionally notice a slick black flammable substance, oil. Oil is just one of many fluids that can be found underneath the impenetrable rock, but you won't be able to breach these reserves on your own. So now this is basically just the lore behind it. The oil doesn't really physically exist in the world, but we can extract it using a pump jack if we can find a chunk that has oil in it. So we have this core sample drill, and we're going to set this down somewhere in the world. Now, when you're holding it, it shows you chunk boundaries. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it right on the corner of a chunk. And then we're actually going to be able to do all four of these chunks by just moving it briefly. And then we do need to power this guy. So I have a fully powered LV capacitor, and I'm going to hold down the shift key so that I can change the input-output on the other side. And we're going to set this to output on the other side. Now this guy fills up with power. And then when we right-click on it, it's going to drill down. We get a little bit of nice little animation. And by the way, this core sample drill does require a little bit of steel and some iron and copper to build, so it's not terribly expensive. So when we right click on it after it does its drill thing, we get this core sample that tells us basically what's in this chunk, this 16 by 16 area. And as we can see here, there is nothing. There's no minerals, which means there's no ores, and there's no fluid reservoirs. So yeah, there ain't nothing here. So we're going to break this stuff, and we're going to move it into the next chunk, and then we're going to check that one. And actually, with this core sample, we can shift right-click on it to place it in the world. I have another one because I did a little bit of testing. Did a little bit of testing earlier. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to throw this one over there and let it despawn. So now I'm just going to set up this pump jack right next to. Now this is actually, this trick of doing the four corners of four different chunks is a trick I learned from Duncan Webb. Although I'm pretty sure there are others that do this as well. Okay, so now we're in a different chunk, so we'll be able to check to see what's in this chunk. Now we'll find that we're going to find a lot of them that have no minerals or anything else. So it may take a little while for me to find a reservoir that has oil that we want. So this one also has nothing, so we're going to break this. So I'm going to be doing this for a while. I'm going to do this off camera so that you don't have to sit here and watch me find nothing. I'm going to do this off camera, and then once I find something, I'll check back in with you. Okay, well, that didn't take long. I found an oil deposit. So it says there's about 14,710,000 millibuckets, which means 14.7 buckets of oil in this chunk here. So that's where we want to put an oil jack. Hooray! We still haven't found all four of these have no minerals, so there's no ores here. But we're not doing that today anyway. We may do the excavator on a different day. Got everything I need to make the pump jack. So the pump jack is basically the thing that we're going to use to extract oil. So it looks like a pump jack in real life, and it moves up and down. It's kind of cool like that. And this is all the materials that we need for it. So you can see we needed 11 steel scaffolding, and we also needed a couple blocks of steel and some steel sheet metal. This cost me almost a half a stack of steel. I think it was around, somewhere around a half a stack of steel. So then this projector is also added by Immersive Petroleum, and it's made like so. And what we can do with this is we can combine it with the book. So first we open the engineer's manual to the multi-block structure that we are going to be making, and we combine that in a crafting grid with the projector. We get the projector back, and it is now a pump jack projector because that's what page we were on. And we can now take the projector and decide where we want to place this thing. Middle click to rotate, left shift middle click to flip it. Let's try that right there. So this is where our power should be coming in, I think. Alright, so now this is telling us exactly where we need to place all those blocks. And I have all those blocks here. I made them all. But we do need to keep the projector in our hotbar. Actually, let me put some of this stuff in my toolbox. Oh, we're going to need that. Okay, whatever. Okay, so we can see that we need some steel scaffolding. So when we hold it, it's going to highlight the places where we need to place steel scaffolding. And if we place the wrong block somewhere, it'll highlight it red like that. Okay, and that looks like a light engineering block. Whoops. And then we needed some fluid pipes over here. Okay, now it's going to show us the next level, so we need another one of these guys. We need the redstone engineering block, and then that's a heavy engineering block. This is made with some steel. Okay. Another heavy engineering block here. And that looks like a block of steel, which apparently we're supposed to place in thin air. Okay, so I'm going to break this one. And then there's another block of steel up there. And that looks like steel sheet metal. Okay. And here's our last two fences. And then we should get a green outline after we've placed this last one. Yeah. Yay! So that tells us that we did it right. We can shift right click to get rid of, whoops, to get rid of that. Or we can just take it out of our hotbar, either way. And then we're going to take our engineer's hammer, and I don't remember where it said to click this. Let's try there. Yeah, that worked. Cool, there's our pump jack. So that looks like we're going to be pulling, power's going in up here. This is going to be the redstone thing, so that's how we turn it on and off. We can put a lever there. And then, so now, this thing will pull up to, I think it's 1,024 RF per tick. Yeah, 1,000 flux per tick. We're producing like 166, so this guy's not going to be running as fast as it can. It's going to be running kind of slow for us, but that's okay. That's okay right now, because we don't need oil really quickly at the moment. We can just let that run while we put the distillery, or the distiller together, which is going to be our next very large multi-block structure, the Distillation Tower. That's this guy, and you can see we're going to need a lot of steel for this one. So I've got steel being made in our very, very slow steel production. I'm thinking we probably should have upgraded this system before we got into this project, but whatever, it's fine. I also went and grabbed a bunch of iron too, so we have some iron in the works. I've got this area all laid out now with some placeholders for the stuff that we're going to be building. We're actually going to be setting up 4 of these large tanks from Immersive Engineering, which require 4 treated wood fences and then also 34 sheet metal. And then basically we end up making a hollow thing here. It's very cold out. It's in the middle of winter. And I'm working outside, so I've got a fireplace out here. I haven't had to make one of those since like early game. And I have my wool armor on, so I don't have any of my nice buffs from my Construct's armory stuff. Okay, and then we take our engineer's hammer and there. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna pipe oil into this one, and then here's where we're gonna set up our distillery, which is like our refinery, and then we're gonna have 3 tanks set up, 3 more of these fluid tanks set up. Our Distillation Tower, which is where we're gonna pump which is where the oil that we pull up from here is going to end up being processed, will generate for us these materials: lubricant, diesel, and gasoline. Okay, so I'm just gonna run pipes right from there to here. It's gonna be a little ugly, but this is a temporary setup, so I'm not gonna worry too much about how it looks. This is temporary because eventually we're gonna deplete the oil here, and then we'll have to move this this thing to another place. Now, it says it takes about 11 days to deplete a reservoir. Now that's going to depend how many pumps we have. So that's with a single pump. We could actually have multiple pumps out here and within the same chunk and actually deplete the reservoir more quickly and get oil more quickly. All right, it's a little clunky there, but whatever. So as soon as we give this guy power, we are going to start pulling oil, and we're going to start pulling all of our power too. So there it goes. So now you can see it's a little bit slow. It's a little choppy because, oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, because the power is not keeping up. So if we look at the power buffer in the one probe, you can see that it just keeps going down. It's not gaining anything. Oh, I'm cold again. I guess I'm going to have to go inside. So, but I'm done out here. So this guy, eventually, if we hold a bucket, it'll tell us what's in there and how much. Right now we have oil. You can see the number is going up. We now have 2 buckets of oil. We bucket that out, and there's our wonderful oil from Immersive Petroleum. I finally have all the resources I need to make this distillation tower. It's quite large, and it requires a lot of blocks and a lot of steel. I think, boy, I think I used like a good stack of steel on this. So I am going to put this in the grid with my projector, and we're going to place this right there. Actually, let me check that again. No, make sure that it's facing the way I want it to be. Okay, so that's the direction I want it to be in. I want the heavy engineering blocks over here, because that should end up making the ladder over here. So here's my 25 steel scaffolding. Lots of steel. Lots of iron, too. There was a bunch of sheet metal. These heavy engineering blocks require... Oh, darn it. These heavy engineering blocks require steel as well. There we go. Made myself some elixirs of regen, so that, because, you know... Oops. I'm going to get hypothermia up here, so whatever. I'll deal with it. Sometimes it's a little confusing because it seems like you want to click where it's showing you the block, but you don't. You want to click like so that the block places against it. Okay. Oh, there's one here. Steel scaffolding. Another steel scaffolding. Now we can climb the scaffolding, so as we get up near the top, that's kind of what we might end up having to do. To get up and down if we fall or whatever. You know what? To make this easier, I'm gonna do a bunch of that right away. Oh, ouch! I missed it. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the regen and hope that it's faster than the debuff. Yeah, it looks like it is. Good, good, good. Sorry, I know it's kind of annoying. So that is the steel scaffolding slabs. Why is it not highlighting it? Oh, look at that. Okay, so it's a different style of steel scaffolding slabs. So I'm actually getting a net gain of health right now. That's nice. I'm using an elixir from Rustic, which I covered in a previous episode, I think 2 episodes ago. This is so big. Okay, so now we've got those again. Have to be careful. Oh, darn it. Have to be careful not to fall from here, because that would really hurt. I'm wearing my wool armor, so which doesn't seem to be helping a whole lot. I should probably just put my other armor back on. I think this is going to be the tallest structure in our little town here. I'm going to sleep up here on the top of this. Okay. Oh, that was... oh, I can't sleep because I'm taking damage. Oh, crap. Okay. So I'm going to have to try to climb down from here without hurting myself. So basically I'm going to have to go forward and then go... Oh, go back right away. Oh, phew. Okay. Oh, it's done. Hooray! Maybe here? Yep, there we go. So there's the Redstone Control. This, I wonder now, can we climb this? We can. Okay, nice, nice, nice. And we can go out on all the platforms. There it is. Actually, it looks pretty cool. I like all the models in this mod. Like this oil drill looks really nice too. This thing can use up to 2048 RF per tick. Obviously, we don't have that much yet, although this mod will help us get there. We're not there yet. So this will be running very, very slowly. Now, it'll do up to, I think it's 25 millibuckets per tick. If it's fully powered, obviously it won't be fully powered for us, so it won't be doing quite that much, which is totally fine. Okay, I've got the power going into the top of this, and then this is where our oil is going to come in. So the crude oil, hopefully it won't interfere with that wire. Actually, you know what? Let's move it over one. And then we'll come over the trail. Actually, let me get rid of these. And we'll come down there. Okay. I put a lever on this because it does require a redstone signal. We can see we had 122 buckets. That is going down. And now if we look in here, we will see we have a bunch of oil in here. This thing will hold 24 buckets of oil. And... oh, it's already, wow, okay, so it's already spitting out bitumen, and it's already generating some stuff here. So we can see it's kind of layered. There's a little bit of gasoline, there's a little bit of diesel. There should also be a little bit of lubricant in there, probably just too small of amount to see. But we're going to need to put a chest or something here to pick up the bitumen, otherwise it's going to just get spilled out in the world. Okay, I put a barrel there from Rustic, because I thought that would look cool. I'm guessing it should work, it should catch that. So we've got a lot of gasoline, less diesel, and a tiny bit of lubricant. Nice. So this is where we pull it out on the orange side. I'm actually going to run this over here to this fluid router from Immersive Engineering. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go in on that side. And then from there, actually, you know what? I'm just going to put a pipe there. And see what ends up going in there. It looks like... okay, so we got gasoline in there. So then I'm going to go on the fluid router. That is the north side of the fluid router. So we can say on the north side, we're allowing gasoline. And then I'm going to put that bucket of gasoline back in there. So now there's no gasoline, or there's probably no gasoline in here. So if I put a bucket in here, I should get either diesel or lubricant. So I got diesel. So now we can say maybe we want the diesel over there. So that is to the east. So on the east side, we're going to take diesel. And then on this side, we're going to do lubricant. So now all of the diesel is in here. We have almost 10 buckets of diesel. And there's nothing left in here except lubricant. So we can pull a bucket of that. And then I'm going to have this Born Slippy. We can use lubricant to speed up our machines. And we'll take a look at that in a second. So west is lubricant. Okay. So then, oh, I still don't have enough pipes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run these pipes this way, but then I'm going to take the hammer and sever that connection. And I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more pipes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yay. So now all our lubricant is going in there. If we hold a bucket, we will see that it says lubricant. 4 buckets, and if we look in here, we are empty, but we are full of oil, and we don't have much RF. So, this is crazy, all these pipes. Now let's see what we can do with this stuff. Now we're going to play with what I think is probably the funnest part of this mod. So this is the motorboat. It is made like so. It's not terribly expensive, actually. It does require gasoline to run. So you can use a bucket, or you can use a jerry can, which holds 10 buckets. And just right click on it. Oh, actually I just emptied it out. We'll get across the ice. Whee! So you can see it's a little faster than a regular boat. Oh, crap. But what's really fun is if you hold down the space key. So if we take our boat and we put it in an engineer's workbench, we get 3 slots where we can put add-ons to the boat. And there are 5 different add-ons. One of them, well, the 3 that I'm going to add are the maneuvering rudders. This is going to allow us to control the boat a little better, give us better maneuverability. And then there's the emergency paddle. So this way, if the boat runs out of gas, we can use it just like a vanilla boat. Otherwise, it's stuck and you can't do anything. And then the icebreaker row. Now this, or icebreaker bow, this is expensive. It's 16 steel, and I almost didn't get it, but I thought it'll be fun. But then there's also, let's see, the reinforced hull, which makes the boat stronger. I've never really had any problems with the boat taking damage, so I didn't bother with that one. But it does also let you use the boat in lava, which is pretty cool. And then there's an expanded fuel tank. So right now it holds 10. I'm not sure what's going to happen if we set this thing on top of ice with the icebreaker. Oh, it does actually break the ice. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. And it does damage mobs too. So if we run into mobs with our icebreaker, it will hurt them. I'm going to fill this up with gas again. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's all the gasoline I have. Okay. Look at that. Nice. That is great. Trying to stay in third person here. Yeah. Whee! Yeah, this, wow. This is really fast. Nice. And we can take really sharp corners now. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and actually you have a fuel gauge in the lower right, so we can see how much fuel we have. Let's see what happens when we're in high speed and we're going through the ice. Okay, it does make it faster. Nice. But we are using a lot more fuel. When you hold down the space key, it uses a lot of fuel. I would imagine we're probably using more fuel when we break ice too. That's nice. Okay. And of course it breaks like any boat. Hooray. And it does keep its fuel. It keeps its gasoline. Let's take a look at lubricant. So I have a gas can. It holds up to 8 buckets of lubricant. And this we can use to lubricate our machines, which makes them run a little bit faster. So, for instance, I have this uranium. that I'm going to be using to generate power, actually. And we'll see about what speed it's coming out. So you fill up this lubricant can with lubricant, and then you just right click on the machine, and you can see that it's kind of dripping with oil. Let's get that out of there. And now it's running faster. So the stuff is coming out a little faster. And it'll last for a little while. I'm not really sure exactly how long it'll last, but it'll last for a little while, and then you can right click it again. And it uses about 300 millibuckets every time. Now actually you can see it's done already. Do it again. Now of course that can get kind of old after a while, so we have this automatic lubricator, which when we hold it, it should show us where to put it. There it is. So there's a shadow of it there. So we just place that there. And stick lubricants in there, and it'll automatically lubricate it for us. So you can see it's consuming lubricant, and we should see that the machine is dripping right now. Oh, actually it's not. Huh. But it is running faster. Oh, okay, so that's what... We see pipes. Those pipes are not there if the lubricant isn't there. So that's basically showing us that the lubricant is connected and it is lubricating the machine. The one last block I want to take a look at is the generator, the portable generator. This thing runs on gasoline. You can place it in the world. You can right-click it with gasoline, jerry can or bucket. And it produces about 256 RF per tick. And it has some really nice features. So first of all, you don't need a connector. You can just do that. And it connects directly to the wire. Second of all, it's portable because you can shift right click on it to pick it up. And it retains its energy, it retains its gasoline. So we can take it somewhere else and power something else. Nice. The birds are chirping, spring is in the air, and this project is done. Check it out. We've got our lubricant, we've got our gasoline, and we've got our diesel, which we will be using in the future, and oil, which we don't have much of because it's all being processed in here. So in the future, we're going to be playing around with the diesel. We can put that in a diesel generator from Immersive Engineering, but we can also do some other stuff with it in this pack, which we'll be doing in future episodes. So if you have any questions, comments, ideas, whatever, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And of course, if you did enjoy this, don't forget to click the like button and to join me next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Today we are going to be playing with a mod called Immersive... Wait. What is it called again? Cut. Today we are going to be playing with Immersive...